Hello again, Michael Friedberg here from beautiful North Carolina with the last shave of 2017. Perfectly orchestrated, perfectly timed, last day of the year, last shave of the year. And that's going to be with the Cooper and French Old Goat. Now this is another milk-based soap. Half the water in the soap was replaced with goat's milk. The scent is a nod, sort of a reproduction of the original Old Spice, but mixed in with a very warm scent of vanilla. Let me just show you what it looks like in the tub, and then we'll talk about the scent a bit more. It is a pretty hard soap, but in the scheme of things, obviously easily scooped. I use sort of a little bamboo spoon to scoop this stuff out. Not hard to do. Definitely not a triple milled hard soap. Yeah, it's just a nice warm vanilla scent with hints of citrus, and it does gently remind me of Old Spice. I used to use Old Spice when I first started wet shaving in the mid 80s, when I used to use Old Spice, the original Old Spice, which I didn't realize at the time was the original, and a shaving brush. And well, I'm not going to tell you what happened to that mug and shaving soap because it'll make some of you cry. But today's soap is going to be the Cooper and French, the Old Goat, which I have remnants still pressed into the Captain's Choice soap loading bowl. Brush for today is going to be another golden oldie, the Ever Ready 200 restored with the tuxedo knot. And because I used the Gillette ABC last week with a brief reference to the way that it's shaved compared to the Gillette Old type, I'm going to use the Gillette Old type for this week's shave. It's a 1921 to 1929 Old type, and in there I have a Wilkinson Sword blade on its third use. 100% its third use. All right, 2 days worth of growth. Let's go ahead and get lathered up and wet my face again. Yeah, I have two Cooper and French products for review today. One is the soap, and then the second is the aftershave balm of the matching scent. So let me just go ahead and start loading up the brush. It's a milk-based soap and also contains tallow. So this is a nice, really rich, creamy soap. And if you're looking for if you're looking for a soap that's going to sort of give you the best of both there, then I would really highly recommend this soap because it is, first of all, very easy to lather. I really like the scent. The scent is simple. You know, it's a light citrus scent. As I said, vaguely reminiscent of the Old Spice. It doesn't have the same kind of spicy undertones to it, but the warmth of the vanilla goes quite well with the citrus. Just a very nice, pleasant scent. I'm just loading the brush. I have been doing this with a dry brush, by the way, and then dripping water into the soap, which for me has worked very, very well. And you can see, unlike a lot of soaps, I'm not getting that initial sort of airy, foamy, sort of proto-lather building. And that's because this is a very dense, heavy, creamy soap. The milk addition makes a big difference here, and the combination of milk and the tallow is, well, it's phenomenal. Very easy to work with. And just immediately goes to this beautiful creamy state. All right, I'm going to load good and heavy. Now, as I said last time with this tuxedo knot, the tuxedo knot is obviously very soft on the face, but it is also quite stiff, has a lot of backbone. So if you're looking for a soft tip brush with a lot of splay in it, then these tuxedo knots I don't think are the right choice for you. This has got a nice bit of backbone. So if you want to use your synthetics with some of the harder soaps, for example, and you don't want a lot of splay when you're face lathering, these knots make a great choice. You can see what's happening there, just how sort of thick and creamy that is. All right, I'm gonna try to pull some of that out. There'll be plenty in the brush for a couple passes if I need to. I'll just load some more. All right. Well, while we're building the lather, let's talk about 2017. Man, what a year. If you are coming into wet shaving, you're coming into wet shaving right now, my friend, you have no idea how good you have it. 2017 has seen just an ongoing, what to me feels like an explosion of wet shaving product options in terms of razors, custom razors, brushes, brush makers, handles, synthetic knot options. The number of artisan soap makers continues to grow. They're all delivering really phenomenal products that the bar in terms of soap quality is phenomenally high right now. You can also see some expansion in the market for the more traditional shaving products with some new scents coming out from people like Parov. There we go. That is almost ready. Just a touch more water. I think 2018 is going to be more of the same. Now there may be some consolidation in the market as a whole, because there are just so many people out there that it's hard to see how some of those will unfortunately be able to survive. I don't know if that's going to be possible or not, but obviously wish everyone all the best, and just continue to bring your innovative products to market, your scent options or your soap bases or packaging changes. It might be new razor designs. Just, obviously for those of us that are in love with this hobby, we'd love to see that continue to grow. But it also means that even if you're just doing this because you want to save some money or you want to change how you shave, you have so many options to get exactly the product set for you that's going to work great for the way that you want to shave. Man, you're just in a fantastic position. All right, the old type, third use on this Wilkinson Sword. This is the with the grain pass, obviously. So right off the bat, by the way, let me just sort of cut through the chase with regards to the way the shave goes. With the grain pass, already much more comfortable than with the Gillette ABC. A little less harsh, a little less sort of overly efficient. More comfortable. Wilkinson Sword blade is a great fit for this razor. Started off the week with a Bolzano, which was pretty good, but not as good as the Wilkinson. I also told myself, don't push those blades. After the third shave in the Bolzano, I was like, nah, I think I'll change it out. It started to feel a little bit tuggy, a little rough. When you think about the fact that this is basically, very close to a 100-year-old razor as well. No issue with the teeth on this one, but some very minor cracks in the handle. Two days of growth gone. The soap is very slick. Beautiful creamy texture to it. Feels very protective and just feels very good on the skin. Just a wonderful combination. I am a huge fan of these milk-based soaps, as I'm sure many of you know from previous videos. And I'm very, very happy to see that there are more vendors sort of jumping on the bandwagon there. I hope it'll be a mainstay of shaving soaps in future. There's something about the texture of the soap and the way it feels on your skin. Big fan. Yeah, for 2018, I mean, obviously for this course of the year, I sort of stuck on a particular format for these shaves, which is really to try to review, well, products that are of interest to me and hopefully of interest to you as well. It's not going to be possible in 2018 to do a new to the market product every week. There's simply too much. There's no way to buy something, sort of stock up on everything. So I'm going to continue with the same format, which is some new things, some recent releases or new releases mixed in with some things that are maybe old hat to you but new to me. And hopefully you'll continue to find those reviews of all those products still of some interest. God, beautiful slick soap. Just absolutely glorious. Reminds me of the Mickey Lee Soapworks, the Drunken Goat. Same kind of beautiful creamy face feel to it. Yeah, and with the with the sheer number of shaving products coming out, including razors, there's really just no way that I could go through and purchase something new for every week. I think right now I have something like maybe 16 weeks of stuff already queued up. So I'm going to work my way through that first, and then continue on either purchasing, or obviously if new items come in for review, then I'll try to work those into the schedule, obviously. But there are items on the shelf I also really, really want to get to, and that I think you're going to quite enjoy watching. Very substantial overhang on this razor, by the way. You can see how much there is. That's quite a bit, so you got to really be careful in particular spots like this. You don't catch the inside of your nostril. Yeah, and if there are items that you'd like to see me review or comparisons, we've had a couple people recommend some comparisons between some of the razors that I do have. Come back and let me know in the comments. I'm more than happy to consider them. If it's something that I already have, of course, that's much easier to do. If it's something I don't have, I'll have to build a bit of a, God, just the water dripping down my arm. If it's something I don't have, but that may already sort of be in the works to get, then yes, happy to do that as well. All right, basically pass number 3, against the grain. Plenty of soap in there. This is starting to feel a little bit thick, so what I'm going to do is just drip a little bit of water into the brush, and I'm going to also squeeze it a little bit to kind of pull up some of the remainder in there. As you can see, beautiful, sleek, slick lather. Just very, very nice soap. Yeah, the irony about this particular tub is that my son had come to visit for the Christmas break, had obviously come without his shaving stuff, so I lent him a razor, lent him a brush, and let him go through and smell a couple soaps and pick whichever one he wanted to use for the break. And if you wanted, you could just take it with him. Well, he picked the original tub, which was still the metal tin of the Cooper & French Old Goat, which I was happy to pass on. And then right after that, I received for review this new plastic tub of Old Goat, as well as the new Relentless. Timing is everything, I guess. All right, the against the grain pass. Now here is where this razor is a little bit more of a struggle for me. Just have to really watch it. Pressure-wise, just have to really focus on very light, no pressure strokes, and don't push it. And like the Icon 102, this particular spot right here is one of the trouble spots for me with this razor. For some reason, it always feels a little bit rough. Soap is still doing very, very well. Even when you have a thinner layer like this, the soap is still very slick and still makes for a very dense protective layer. No issues with performance. Scent is mild. Yeah, I mean, I would say of the trying to grade on a scale, I would say the scent is pleasant and mild. Truth be told, I mean, you could sell this soap base in an unscented, and I think people would still go for it because their performance is really excellent. Great combo of milk and the tallow. When you rinse, there is a very distinct slick layer there. It is hard to rinse off. Recalcitrant rinsing, as they say. One more. There we go. Well, yeah, very nice. Just a very quick. There we go. All right, done. Let's towel off. Yeah, you know, I was nervous at first about using that razor because I think it has a bit of a reputation when the first time I used it that it was going to be overly rough or difficult or dangerous to shave with. I've not found that to be the case in my experience really at all. You have to pay a bit of attention. It does not have at all the same kind of tugginess on the face or the feeling that something about the head geometry is just making the teeth catch like we had last week with the Gillette ABC. I find that generally speaking actually very, very easy to use, especially with a good soap. I think if you don't have a good lather or you don't have the right blade in there, I think you're going to struggle with that razor. It's going to feel overly harsh and come across as too aggressive. But fantastic soap and the right blade in there, that razor is really, in the scheme of things, actually pretty much a joy to use. Just have to watch that one spot right there for some reason, just a little tuggy and rough. All right, now post-shave on the soap is very good. You know, something about this milk-based soaps just help add a layer of hydration to the skin. No tightness, no heat. Skin feels really quite good. I have not been using an aftershave all week. I've been using the aftershave balm from Cooper & French. It's the same thing as the Old Goat, which I think also includes milk, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm going to open this up. I've had a couple of occasions where I shook this, and then when I flipped open this top, you know, there's stuff stuck in the top there, so just being a bit careful about opening it. It is a thick balm, slightly runny. This is sort of more the texture that I like. This feels very close in consistency to the something like the Captain's Choice aftershave balms. There we go. That should be plenty. Now, I don't know about you, but when I apply something like these balms, I always apply in the with the grain direction. I don't rub it in sort of against or vigorously against the grain. That's in part just to keep down the chance of irritation. It just feels like the right thing to do. The balm is not greasy. It absorbs quickly. It has a very similar face feel to the soap in the sense that it feels, it feels kind of creamy and with a bit of extra fat in there, I guess, from the milk. Absorbs very quickly, does not leave a greasy feeling to it. This is one of the ones where I rinse my hands afterwards simply because the way the balm absorbs on the skin of your face is not the same way that it absorbs in the palms of your hands. And I had an interesting question from a person on Reddit about, it seems like you always rinse your hands after these. And I was trying to think, well, how many do I use that I rinse my hands after? And I can only think of one that I don't. I think it's the Leah aftershave balm, which for some reason is light enough that it's easily and quickly absorbed. But for this one, absorbs easily and quickly into the skin of your face. But for some reason, feeling in the palm of your hands, like most aftershave balms, for me, I always rinse my hands afterwards. Whew. Well, for the last shave of 2017, that was certainly an excellent way to end the year. Let's do a very quick recap of the products that we used. Let's start off with the razor, 1921 to 1929 Gillette old type. Very minor cracks in the handle. There is actually still a bit of texture left to the knurling here, which is amazing. After 100 years, it still has any texture left. Very cool old school design. Very similar in some ways to the Gillette, to the fat tip. Testina Grande, just the way they've done those posts. Open comb, not really aggressive. You just have to sort of watch what you're doing with it. But for me, in the scheme of things, actually a very easy and very quick shave. Brush for today, another golden oldie, the Ever Ready 200 restored with a tuxedo knot. There was so much damage to the top. There's so much worn off that in fact the paint for the letters is not going to hold, but the bottom has still preserved. That's just fantastic, just buffed up beautifully. Job very well done. Today's soap. Beautiful. Absolutely just so easy to work with. Beautiful lather. Slick, dense, creamy, tallow and milk based. This hits it for me on all of those levels. The scent, as I said, is mild and pleasant. This is a soap that I would still go for if it was unscented, just because I think that the performance of the soap base is just excellent. Very, very nice soap. Recommended. Aftershave balm. The matching aftershave balm, also made with goat's milk. Very similar, light, pleasant scent, absorbs quickly, easy to apply. It's a kind of a denser, thicker cream. It's not one of those very runny, milky style aftershave balms. I don't like the texture of those very much. That's got a nice density to it. Easy to apply, easy to absorb, and the scent is quite mild. So if after a few minutes you want to apply another aftershave or some other scent, I think it would go over this with no issues whatsoever. All right, that's it. It's the end of today's shave. It's also the end of 2017. I want to thank you all so much, all of your support, your comments, your questions during the course of the year. Thank you so much again for watching these videos. I really do appreciate it. As always, you can leave questions and comments against this video or any of the previous videos, and hopefully against future videos. We'll do as many as we can again in 2018. Thank you again so much for watching. I hope to see you there. And until next time, goodbye.